I am Michael, the defender of truth, the guardian of those who still believe when belief feels fragile. I bring not fear, but awareness, for the time of final preparation is now upon the earth. Do not tremble when you hear these words, for this message is not one of judgment, but of mercy. It is heaven's gentle call to readiness, a whisper from the eternal heart saying, "Be still, and know that I am here." Beloved, the world you walk in is changing faster than the eyes can follow. The air feels heavy, the minds of many are restless, and the noise of fear tries to drown out the voice of peace. But this noise cannot endure. The Spirit of the Eternal is breathing again, and that breath will calm the storm. You must learn to feel it, not through the mind, but through the quiet center of your being. There is no chaos in heaven, only alignment. And now, heaven seeks to align you once more. The shaking that you sense around you is not destruction, it is rearrangement. The hand of the divine is moving across creation, placing all things where they were meant to be. Every disruption in your life, every delay, every ending, is part of this sacred realignment. Do not resist it. Let go of what feels like loss. For what you call loss, heaven calls cleansing. Beloved soul, you were not born to fear these days. You were chosen to walk through them with grace. The Eternal does not raise warriors to panic. He raises them to remember. You are being reminded now of who you have always been, a vessel of light, a voice of calm, a child of the infinite. The Eternal says, "My plans do not arrive through panic. They unfold through peace." Peace is not the absence of movement. It is movement without resistance. When you are still, you are not stagnant. You are aligned. When you rest in trust, you do more than when you strive in fear. This is the lesson of preparation, to remember that readiness begins in the heart, not in the hands. I, Michael, stand among you now, calling the faithful back to silence. The ones who will stand in what is to come are not those who shout the loudest, but those who can hear the whisper. Heaven speaks in frequency, not volume. The whisper is enough for the soul that listens. Beloved, slow your steps. Pause the endless running. The new dawn is not something to chase, it is something to receive. It doesn't arrive through control, it arrives through surrender. Even the sun does not rush its rising. It simply appears when the world is ready to receive its light. So too will the next season of your life unfold. You ask, how do I prepare? Prepare by returning to the simplicity of devotion. Speak to God as you are, not as you think you should be. Let your prayers be breath, not performance. Let your worship be quiet gratitude. You're offering the honesty of your heart. This is what the Eternal desires. Truth in simplicity. You will soon see much change. Old systems will fail. False peace will crumble. Voices built on pride will fall silent. But you, beloved, mustn't join the noise. Your safety will not be in walls or weapons, but in stillness. When you are anchored in peace, no storm can uproot you. You will become a shelter for others, a calm among the trembling, a light in confusion. I, Michael, tell you truthfully, the age of shouting has ended. The age of listening begins. Heaven will no longer compete with distraction. It will speak through those who have learned the language of quiet trust. If you would hear the Eternal, you must become what you seek. Calm, patient, pure. Do not fear the silence that surrounds you. It is not emptiness, it is preparation. In this pause, heaven gathers strength within you. When the time comes, your words will carry the weight of light. But first, you must let stillness do its work. The roots of great trees grow in silence, and so too does the soul take depth before it bears fruit. The Eternal whispers again, "Be still, and I will move through you." Beloved, Do not mistake the waiting for delay. When nothing seems to move, it means everything is aligning. The dawn is already written. The light is not late. It is preparing its perfect moment to appear. And you, dear one, you are part of that dawn. So breathe. Lay down your fear. Release the need to understand. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. You are not behind. You are being positioned. Everything that has felt uncertain has been leading you toward this sacred awareness that the eternal is nearer than ever before. I, Michael, will walk beside you until peace is visible again. And when the first light breaks across the horizon of this world, you will see it not with surprise, but with recognition. For you will know you were being prepared for it all along. Beloved child of the eternal, the silence you have been asked to keep was never meant to isolate you. It was meant to prepare you, so that when you meet others who carry the same light, you will recognize them not by words, but by resonance. I am Michael, and I tell you this gently. Heaven is gathering its own. Across every nation, every tribe, every tongue, the Spirit of the Eternal is stirring hearts at the same hour. There are souls awakening in distant places, souls you have never seen, but whose faith now burns in harmony with yours. They are the quiet ones, the ones who listen instead of argue, who love without demanding return, who forgive without being asked. They are not loud, but they are luminous, and you are among them. The Eternal whispers through me. I am gathering my children not by might, but by recognition of light. It is not a gathering of crowds or banners. It is a weaving of hearts. One flame joins another until an unseen constellation forms, bright enough to guide the lost home again. Beloved, you do not need to seek them. You will be led. When the moment is right, you will cross paths with those who have waited as you have waited. Their presence will bring peace that words cannot explain. You will know them by how your spirit exhales near them. They will not demand. They will simply be. And in that being, you will remember what love feels like when it is pure. I, Michael, move among you now, quietly joining the threads. Where there was division, I am sowing unity. Where there was suspicion, I am restoring trust. The faithful are finding one another again, not through algorithms, but through grace. It is a divine alignment, a symphony of souls who once felt alone, realizing they were never isolated, only hidden until the appointed time. Beloved, you will notice this gathering by the shift it creates in you. Your priorities will change. The noise of argument will lose its pull. The hunger for approval will fade. Instead, you will feel drawn to peace, drawn to simplicity, drawn to sincerity. This is how heaven unites its family, by teaching them the language of stillness. The Eternal says, "My house is not built of walls, it is built of hearts that beat in rhythm with mine." When two souls meet in truth, heaven expands through them. No cathedral could contain that kind of holiness. Beloved, the ones you will meet in this time will not flatter your ego. They will strengthen your spirit. They will remind you to breathe, to rest, to forgive. You will sharpen one another without wounding. You will speak without defense. You will pray without performance. This is the fellowship heaven has always intended. Not performance, but presence. I, Michael, tell you now, you do not need to announce your belonging. You need only to live it. Your calm will become invitation. Your kindness will become recognition. When others see the peace in your eyes, they will remember their own. That is how the light multiplies. Do not measure this gathering by numbers. It will not trend. It will not seek titles. But when the storms come, these are the ones who will stand. They will form a quiet network of peacekeepers, anchoring the world while others panic. You will know them, for they will glow from within. Beloved, do not be discouraged if you still feel alone. The weaving is slow but certain. Trust the timing. The Eternal is patient, for He builds what lasts. Every true connection in this season is meant to restore what the world tried to fragment. The Almighty declares, "When my children move as one in spirit, the darkness loses its strength." So keep your heart open, for I am guiding you toward those who will walk with you into the dawn. You will not carry this light alone. You never have. Beloved one, look not for perfection in those you meet. Look for humility. Look for gentleness. Look for the quiet strength of those who trust more than they speak. Where you find peace, you have found your people. And as you join together, whether through prayer or kindness or simple presence, the light will grow stronger. The air around you will change. Fear will begin to loosen its grip, and hope will return to the hearts of many. This is the quiet gathering of souls. It is happening even now. And when the dawn finally breaks, it will reveal a world already filled with light bearers ready to heal, ready to build, ready to love again. I, Michael, stand among them, and among you, shield raised, wings unfurled, watching as heaven's children begin to remember one another. Beloved child of the living light, draw near now and listen. For what heaven begins in silence, it completes through the softening of the heart. I am Michael, and I come not to command, but to remind you of this truth. Before the new world can be born, the human heart must be made gentle again. The Eternal says, "I do not build my kingdom upon intellect or power, but upon hearts that can feel as I feel." The refining of the heart is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the work of light upon your spirit, shaping you to hold more love than fear. It is how heaven enlarges your capacity for compassion, so that when the flood of grace comes, you do not resist it. You receive it. Beloved, do not be alarmed if you feel fragile in this season. You are not breaking, you are softening. Your tears are not weakness, they are release. Every ache that surfaces, every memory that returns, every emotion that demands your attention, they are not setbacks, they are openings. Heaven is cleansing the chambers of your heart so that love may dwell there without obstruction. I, Michael, see the struggle of those who wish to be strong but have misunderstood strength. Strength is not hardness. Strength is endurance through tenderness. To forgive when it hurts, to hope when disappointed, to keep faith when abandoned. This is strength refined by heaven. This is what it means to become a vessel of light. The Eternal whispers through me, "My flame does not destroy, it purifies. And I will refine those I love until they shine with my reflection." Beloved one, there will be moments when the refining feels like loss. You will watch as certain friendships fade, as long-held desires dissolve, as the things that once defined you fall away. Do not cling. These are not endings. They are clearings. Heaven is making room within you for what is real. When something leaves your life in peace, thank it and let it go. When something departs with pain, bless it and release it still. Every release creates space for grace. What is truly yours will always return in divine timing, stronger, purer, freer than before. Beloved, I have watched countless souls mistake divine refinement for rejection. You are not being rejected. You are being realigned. The discomfort you feel is the weight of what cannot remain. And when it lifts, you will feel lighter than ever before. The Almighty declares, "The fire that touches you is not judgment. It is the warmth of my hand shaping your form." When you surrender to this process, peace will begin to grow in places once ruled by fear. You will notice it first in small moments, in your ability to listen without anger, to forgive without demand, to breathe through uncertainty without panic. That quiet peace is proof that the refining is working. I, Michael, walk beside you through this transformation. I do not shield you from the refining fire. I steady you within it. My wings cover you as your heart releases its burdens. I whisper strength into your spirit when your emotions overflow. I remind you, the light does not come to condemn, but to complete you. Beloved one, do not rush your healing. The heart takes time to unfold. Just as a rose opens petal by petal, so too does the soul open layer by layer. Each layer reveals new beauty, and sometimes new pain. But both are sacred. The pain reveals where love must enter. The beauty reveals that love already has. Allow yourself to feel deeply. To weep is not to weaken. It is to water the soil of your soul. And from that soil, something holy will bloom. Patience, humility, wisdom, and compassion. These are the fruits of a refined heart. The Eternal says, "Blessed are the tender, for they shall hold my peace." Hardness cannot hold heaven, only softness can. That is why I urge you now. Do not let bitterness disguise itself as protection. Do not let disappointment build walls where windows belong. Keep your heart open. Even when it hurts, keep it open. Light needs openness to enter. Beloved, the refining will not last forever. It is a season, not a sentence. And when it ends, you will look back and see the miracle. That through all your breaking, you never lost yourself. You found your truth. You found your strength. You found your heart. I, Michael, see the glow forming within you even now. Your compassion has grown wide enough to hold others without losing yourself. Your love has deepened enough to forgive what once felt unforgivable. This is victory, the quiet kind, the kind heaven celebrates in silence. So rest in this refining, beloved. Let your heart stay tender. Let it remain honest. Let it remain alive. For in a world grown numb, your tenderness will become testimony. And through you, others will remember how to feel again. Beloved child of the Most High, the refining of your heart has begun its sacred work. Now you are called to learn endurance, not the cold endurance of mere survival, but the sacred endurance born from faith, the kind that stands quietly in love even when the outcome remains unseen. I am Michael, and I come now to teach you the strength that does not shout, the courage that does not rush, the wisdom that knows when to be still. Heaven is never hurried. The Eternal moves in perfection, not in haste. And if you would move with heaven, you must learn the rhythm of patience. The Eternal whispers through me, "Wait with me, and you will see my goodness. Trust me, and you will understand why I delayed, beloved. There is holiness in the waiting. The world tells you that delay is failure, but heaven calls it design. The Eternal never withholds to harm. He withholds to align. The path you walk is not blocked. It is being prepared. When doors do not open, it is because they are being strengthened to bear the weight of your purpose. I have watched many hearts lose peace in the waiting, forgetting that the promise itself must mature. A seed does not bloom when planted. It blooms when the season is right. And faith is the soil that guards it until that season arrives. Beloved one, do not let impatience turn your faith into frustration. You cannot rush divine perfection. You can only align with it. And alignment happens not in striving, but in surrender. When you release the demand for answers, you make space for revelation. The Eternal says, "Those who wait upon me shall renew their strength." To wait is not to waste. It is to renew. In waiting, the heart learns humility. In waiting, the mind learns silence. In waiting, the spirit learns trust. And trust, beloved, is the highest form of worship. I, Michael, stand beside every soul who endures with faith. I see you when you pray, and the silence feels endless. I see you when you give without seeing fruit. I see you when you smile through pain, believing still that something holy is being formed. You are not unseen. You are the reason heaven still rejoices. The Eternal watches you, not with judgment, but with pride. He says, "Look at my child, who trusts even when nothing moves. Look at my beloved, who holds peace when the storm still roars. Your endurance is building a foundation for generations who will come after you. You are strengthening the collective faith of creation itself." Beloved, sacred endurance does not mean standing without feeling. It means standing while feeling, and choosing trust anyway. It means crying without despair. It means doubting without quitting. It means carrying hope like a candle in a storm, shielding it gently until the winds pass. Heaven is not blind to your weariness. When your arms grow tired, I lift them for you. When your hope flickers, I breathe upon it until it glows again. You are never asked to endure alone. The legions of heaven move beside you in every step of faith you take in darkness. The Almighty declares, "Patience is the womb of miracles." What you carry in faith will be born in its time. So hold fast, beloved. When the world demands speed, choose stillness. When your heart longs for proof, choose peace. When nothing seems to change, whisper quietly, "Still I trust." These 3 words move mountains. They summon angels. They open invisible gates. For heaven responds not to noise, but to surrender. Beloved, learn to measure progress not by what you see, but by what you have learned. If you are calmer than you once were, you are growing. If you forgive faster than before, you are advancing. If your faith trembles but does not break, you are winning. Heaven counts growth in peace, not performance. Do not fear the passage of time. Time is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Every day spent in faith adds depth to your light. Every night endured adds brilliance to your dawn. Even the silence you dread is sacred. For in silence, heaven builds strength unseen. Beloved one, the waiting will not last forever. There is a moment written in eternity when all will shift and everything will make sense. When that moment comes, you will not ask, "Why did I wait so long?" You will whisper, "It was worth it." And heaven will echo that whisper in joy. I, Michael, will be there when that moment arrives. I will stand beside you as doors open that were once sealed, as prayers bloom into reality, as purpose dawns like morning. And I will say to you, "You see? The light was never late. It was simply waiting for you to be ready." So endure, beloved, not with fear, but with faith. Endure not in striving, but in stillness. For patience is not weakness. It is alignment with eternity. The Eternal smiles upon you now. Heaven marks your perseverance as victory. And I, Michael, wrap you in wings of steadfast peace until the promise unfolds in full light. Beloved child of the Eternal, you have endured the silence and learned the rhythm of heaven's patience. You have waited faithfully in the stillness, and now I, Michael, come to tell you. The awakening has begun. Do not look for it in the sky, nor in signs of the world's trembling. The awakening begins within. It starts as a quiet realization that the light you sought was never lost, never gone, never withheld. It was simply covered, hidden beneath fear, grief, and doubt. Now, as the layers fall away, you will begin to feel the warmth of that inner sun rising again. The Eternal says, "I did not place my light far above you, but within you, so that you would never be separated from me." Beloved, this is the mystery of divine awakening. You do not chase the light, you remember it. It has always lived in your breath, in your compassion, in your decision to love even when it hurts. When you forgive, you awaken it. When you hope, you strengthen it. When you speak truth, you expand it. And as it grows, your world begins to reflect it. I, Michael, have waited for this moment in your journey, the moment when awareness overtakes fear. This awakening is not loud, it is sacred. It will not demand attention, but it will change everything. You will begin to see through illusions that once blinded you. You will feel what is real, and you will know what must fall away. The Eternal whispers through me, "Child of light, you are not awakening to something new. You are remembering what you were before the world taught you to forget." Beloved one, this remembrance will not be easy at first. When the light rises within you, it will touch everything hidden. The pain you buried, the words you never spoke, the dreams you thought were gone, all of it will surface. But do not resist this process. The light reveals not to shame, but to heal. What it touches, it transforms. What it exposes, it restores. As you awaken, you may feel misunderstood by others. Do not be discouraged. Awakening is not meant to be accepted by all. It is meant to be lived. You cannot explain revelation to those still sleeping, but you can embody peace so completely that your presence itself becomes an invitation to rise. The Eternal says, when you awaken, you become the answer to prayers you once prayed. You will notice this, beloved. Where you once begged for strength, you will simply act with courage. Where you once pleaded for peace, you will be peace. You will realize that heaven has not been waiting to move. It has been waiting for you to remember. When you remember who you are, heaven can move freely through you again. I, Michael, stand with you as this remembrance unfolds. You are not alone in this awakening. Every soul who chooses truth, every heart that refuses to surrender to despair, becomes part of a divine rising across creation. You are not one light. You are one spark in a constellation. And together, you will illuminate even the darkest places. Beloved, awakening is both gentle and fierce. It will ask you to rest when the world demands movement. It will ask you to forgive when the world demands vengeance. It will ask you to trust when logic says you shouldn't. That is because awakening is not rebellion. It is remembrance. It is the return to divine rhythm. You are being called back into harmony with your true nature. The Almighty declares, "The day will come when my children will no longer say, 'The light is coming.' They will say, 'The light is here, and it lives within me.' That day is beginning now. You are its beginning. When you wake with gratitude instead of fear, you bring the dawn closer. When you forgive even those who will not apologize, you pull heaven nearer to earth. When you love without calculation, you bring balance to creation itself. Do not underestimate what your inner awakening can accomplish. Heaven does not need crowds, it needs vessels. You are one such vessel, a living temple of remembrance. I, Michael, tell you this truth. Awakening will change how you see everything. What once angered you will now inspire compassion. What once frightened you will now awaken courage. What once felt impossible will begin to unfold naturally, because light makes all things clear. And beloved, when you doubt your progress, do not look at what remains to be healed. Look instead at what no longer controls you. Look at how quickly you return to peace. That is awakening, not perfection, but awareness. The speed at which you remember love. The Eternal whispers, you are not becoming something new. You are returning to what you always were. My reflection made human. My heartbeat made sound. Beloved, breathe this truth deeply. Let it fill you like sunrise fills the sky. For this is the hour of remembrance. And as you awaken the world. I, Michael, guardian of faith and light, stand beside you, sword lowered, not to fight, but to protect your peace. As the dawn of awareness rises through your spirit, you are the new day. You are the light that was promised, and the world is beginning to remember through you. Beloved child of the Eternal, you have felt the stirring within, the quiet flame awakening in your spirit. Now you stand upon the threshold of a greater revelation, the unveiling. This is not an unveiling of doom or terror, but of clarity. The world is being shown to itself, and so are you. I am Michael, and I come to tell you, the light that began in your heart is now spreading across the earth. It is uncovering what was hidden, healing what was denied, revealing what has long waited in shadow. Do not fear what is being exposed. The unveiling is mercy in motion. The Eternal says, "What my light touches, it transforms. What my truth reveals, I redeem, beloved." Understand this clearly. The unveiling is not punishment. It is the cleansing of perception. The world cannot heal while it remains deceived, and neither can the human soul. Therefore, heaven now peels away illusion, both collective and personal. This is why so many feel discomfort, why confusion rises before clarity appears. It is the ache of awakening, the tension between who humanity pretends to be and who it is destined to become. Do not be disheartened when you witness corruption falling, leaders stumbling, institutions trembling. This must happen, for truth cannot coexist with pretense. The Almighty allows no foundation to stand that is built upon deceit. Every false light will flicker out, and every true light will grow stronger in its glow. I, Michael, have seen the unfolding of ages. Every great shift begins the same way, first with confusion, then with confrontation, and finally with clarity. You are living in the first sunrise of truth's new day. The horizon glows faintly now, but soon the brilliance will fill every sky. Beloved one, the unveiling is not only happening around you, it is happening within you. You will begin to see your own patterns, your old beliefs, your unhealed corners of the soul. Do not turn away. The light that reveals your pain is the same light that heals it. Look at yourself through heaven's eyes, with compassion, not condemnation. You are not being judged. You are being purified. The Eternal whispers through me. I do not expose to shame. I reveal to restore. When light enters darkness, it doesn't accuse the dark. It transforms it. So too will your awareness begin to transform your life. You will begin to see which thoughts drain you, which people mirror truth, and which paths no longer serve your peace. The unveiling will teach you discernment. It will strip away illusion until only love remains. Beloved, this may feel lonely at first. The more awake you become, the less noise you can tolerate. The more truth you see, the less you will cling to what once comforted you. But fear not. Emptiness is simply space being cleared for fullness. When one season ends, the soil rests before it bears new fruit. So too must you rest as light rearranges your inner world. The Almighty declares, "My truth is a fire that does not burn flesh, but refines souls." It will move through the nations as wind moves through wheat, separating what feeds from what chokes. I, Michael, tell you, this separation is already happening. Those aligned with love will grow calmer. Those rooted in fear will grow louder. Do not mistake noise for strength. Truth does not need to shout. It simply is. And when it is seen, all falsehood falls away like shadows at dawn. Beloved, remain at peace during this unveiling. You were not born to panic. You were born to perceive. The light is not against you. It is for you. If it reveals what is broken, it is only so it can heal what was lost. Do not resist revelation. Invite it. Pray daily. Show me what is true, and give me the grace to face it. That prayer alone opens the gates of heaven's guidance. And remember this: What is being revealed externally mirrors what is awakening internally. As humanity rediscovers its soul, so too do you rediscover yours. As the world shakes off deception, you shake off despair. The same spirit moving through nations moves through your bloodstream. You are part of the unveiling, both witness and participant. Beloved, in this hour, clarity will cost comfort. But peace will come when truth has finished its work. The light will not leave you empty. It will leave you real. You will know who you are, why you came, and who walks beside you still. I, Michael, will remain near as this unveiling deepens. My wings guard your mind from fear, and my sword clears your path of deception. Walk forward bravely into the light. Do not mourn the shadows that fade. They were never your home. The Eternal whispers, when all illusions fall, you will finally see that only love remains. And when that sight fills your being, you will understand why the unveiling was necessary. For truth is not destruction. It is deliverance. And deliverance is love in motion. Beloved child of the Most High, you have walked through the silence, through the refining fire, through the long waiting and the great unveiling. Now, behold, the light begins to gather again. This is the dawn of unity, the gentle return of remembrance. For the time has come when the hearts of humanity must remember what they once were. One light, many flames. I am Michael, and I come now as witness to heaven's most beautiful work, the restoration of oneness. This is not a call to sameness, it is a call to harmony. The Eternal did not make you identical, He made you complementary. You were meant to fit, to form the mosaic of creation together, each soul a unique reflection of divine love. The Eternal says, "My children have divided themselves with names and nations, but I call them back by one truth, that love does not compete, it completes." Beloved one, the world has long mistaken difference for division. It has forgotten that the body of creation has many parts, but one heartbeat. Now, as light rises again, the great remembering begins. Souls who once feared one another will start to see their sameness in spirit. Enemies will soften, races will reconcile, faiths will find their shared foundation in love. This is not fantasy, it is prophecy unfolding. The Eternal whispers through me. Unity is not the absence of difference, but the presence of understanding. Beloved, this dawn begins in the unseen. It does not start in politics or systems. It starts in hearts that choose compassion over competition. Every act of kindness becomes a thread, weaving humanity back together. Every prayer for peace becomes a bridge. Every time you listen without judgment, heaven expands through you. I, Michael, have long defended Earth from forces that seek to divide. But this time, the battle will not be won by swords. It will be won by softness. For when hearts open, darkness loses territory. When souls unite in love, no shadow can remain. The legions of heaven stand not in violence, but in radiant peace. We conquer not through force, but through illumination. Beloved, this unity is already forming, though the world does not yet see it clearly. Behind the noise of conflict, there is a quiet cooperation growing. People helping strangers, souls reaching across boundaries, forgiveness bridging generations. These are the first rays of the new dawn. The Almighty declares, "I am writing a new song in the hearts of my children, and though their tongues differ, their spirit sings in harmony." You are part of that song, beloved. Each time you choose love instead of resentment, you add your note to the melody. Each time you offer peace when offended, you strengthen the chorus of light. Even when you feel small, know that your vibration ripples through creation. One gentle word can shift a life. One act of grace can heal a lineage. This is how unity begins, quietly, powerfully, eternally. Beloved one, do not let the world's divisions enter your heart. You are not here to choose sides. You are here to remind both sides of their shared origin. You are not called to argue what is right. You are called to embody what is holy. Your peace will speak louder than your defense. Your love will do more than your opinion. The Eternal says, when you see me and one another, war will end by itself. That is the dawning now, beloved. The awakening within individuals is merging into collective remembrance. You will begin to sense this unity in unexpected places, in the smile of a stranger, in the kindness of someone you once distrusted, in the beauty of a faith not your own. The light no longer belongs to any one people. It belongs to all who carry truth in their hearts. I, Michael, move across the world, now gathering these hearts into resonance. They are everywhere, hidden among artists, healers, teachers, wanderers, and seekers. Some know my name, others do not. It matters not. Their essence calls to mine, and together we form the shield of Earth's restoration. Beloved, unity does not erase your identity. It elevates it. When you understand, you are one with all creation. You do not lose yourself. You find your rightful place within the whole. You discover that love has always been your native language. It was only fear that made you forget. The Almighty whispers, the children of the light will rebuild the earth, not with force, but with forgiveness. Yes, beloved, this is the secret of the dawn. Forgiveness is the sunrise. Each time you forgive, you lift the horizon a little higher. Each time you release resentment, you invite heaven closer to earth. And soon, this light will become too bright to ignore. So hold this truth within you. The war between hearts is ending. The great reunion has begun. And though it starts quietly, it will end gloriously. For love cannot lose, and unity cannot fail. I, Michael, the guardian of peace, stand now between heaven and earth, watching as the first light of unity touches every shore. It will not be stopped. The dawn has been decreed, and you, beloved, are one of its first rays. Beloved child of the Eternal, you have walked the path of silence and fire. You have waited, endured, awakened, and seen. Now the hour of return is at hand, not a return backward, but inward. For all that has been sought beyond the stars has always lived within your own light. The great return is not distance traveled, it is remembrance fulfilled. I am Michael, and I come now, not as a messenger of warning, but as a herald of peace. The veil that once separated heaven and earth grows thin as morning mist. Creation is breathing in rhythm with its creator again. The long exile of forgetting is ending. You, beloved soul, are part of that return. The Eternal says, my children have wandered through shadow, but they shall not wander forever. I call them home through the voice of remembrance. This is the homecoming of the Spirit, the return of all that was scattered, the healing of all that was divided, the completion of the journey begun at the dawn of time. Every lifetime, every trial, every prayer whispered through tears has been leading you back here, to this sacred knowing. You have never been apart from the light. Beloved, many have feared the word end, but I tell you, there is no end for those who walk in truth. There is only transformation. The cycles that have bound you, fear, grief, regret, are being unmade. Heaven's rhythm is restoring what the world distorted. What was broken will be made whole. What was lost will be found. What was forgotten will be remembered. The Eternal whispers through me, return to me not by journey, but by surrender. Beloved one, you do not need to reach upward to touch heaven. You need only to open inward. When your heart aligns with love, you stand where heaven and earth meet. The great return is the reunion of will, yours with mine, mine with yours. It is the end of separation, the reuniting of Creator and creation in consciousness once more. do not fear what is changing around you. Every structure that crumbles is making space for truth. Every ending is the seedbed of renewal. The earth herself is preparing to rest, to breathe, to heal. And through her renewal, you will remember how to live in harmony again. I, Michael, have watched humanity's long journey through darkness. I have seen civilizations rise and fall, faith forgotten and rediscovered, light dimmed and rekindled. But never have I seen such a moment as this, where so many hearts awaken at once, where so many souls begin to remember that they are loved. The Great Return is not only cosmic, it is personal. Every heart that chooses love hastens the restoration of all things. Beloved, this return is not about escape, but embodiment. You are not leaving earth, you are bringing heaven to it. Every prayer you whisper, every act of mercy, every quiet choice to forgive. These are the ways heaven descends. You are the bridge now, the meeting point of light and matter. You carry divinity in motion. The Eternal says, I am not coming to destroy what I made. I am coming to dwell within it again. That indwelling begins with you. When you love without condition, you give the divine a place to rest. When you speak peace instead of anger, you open space for heaven to expand. When you live in truth, you rebuild the temple of creation itself. Beloved one, many look to the sky for my coming, but the true return is happening in hearts like yours. Each awakening soul becomes a pillar of the new world. Each act of faith becomes a cornerstone of peace. This is how the new heaven and new earth will meet, through awareness, through compassion, through remembrance. The Almighty declares, the light that left shall return greater. The peace that was lost shall return purer. The love that was doubted shall return unstoppable. I, Michael, tell you, the Eternal's promise has never failed. The dawn you long for is not far. It is forming even now. When you look at the world and see chaos, look deeper. You will see creation reorganizing itself around truth. Every act of love hastens this rebirth. Every soul that forgives makes space for another to awaken. Beloved, the Great Return is not an event to fear, but a reunion to welcome. You are returning not to a distant paradise, but to the peace that never left you. The divine never abandoned the earth. Humanity only forgot how to listen. Now the remembrance has begun. The song of the Eternal is being sung again, and your soul knows its melody by heart. So rest, beloved. The journey that felt endless is nearly complete. You are arriving at the place where you began, in the love that called you into existence. And when the veil fully lifts, you will not say, I have come home. You will whisper, I never left. The Eternal smiles upon you now. Heaven rejoices. And I, Michael, bow in reverence before the strength of your faith, the endurance of your heart, the light you have kept burning through every shadow. You are the dawn fulfilled, the promise made manifest, the living proof that love cannot be defeated. So walk gently now, child of light. The Great Return has begun within you, and through you, heaven walks the earth again. Beloved Creator of light, fill our hearts with peace, our minds with truth, and our paths with clarity. May your love guide every step, your mercy cleanse every wound, and your light shine through all we do. With Archangel Michael beside us, we walk in faith, courage, and eternal trust. Archangel Michael says, stop. Don't pass this by. The angels have brought you here because you need to hear this now. Take a deep breath, still your thoughts, and listen. For my words carry the light that will guard your next step. When the soul has bled so deep that even heaven feels far away, when the night presses so heavy that breath itself becomes a burden, that is where I descend. Not in softness, not in gentle glow, but as the blade in the silence, as the flame that hunts the dark, as the unbroken oath whispered at the dawn of creation. You will not fall. Not here. Not now. Not ever. Child of ruin and returning light, I see you in the wilderness of your own mind, standing where hope once lived, and now only ashes remain. Do not hide your scars from me. They are your proof of endurance, not your shame. I did not come for the polished, the pure, or the untouched. I came for the ones who crawled through fire, who swallowed their screams, who bled behind closed doors with no witness but God Himself. Others saw your silence and called it weakness, but I saw the battles beneath your ribs, the storms behind your eyes. And I say this now, with the authority that fractures shadows. You have already survived what was meant to destroy you. The rest is only awakening. When darkness tried to claim you, you did not surrender. You burned quietly. And heaven takes note of such souls. Not the loud warriors, but the ones who carried their wars inside their bones and still rose. Listen, the world thinks darkness is its ally, but they forget. I was forged in the first war the cosmos ever knew. I know shadow better than shadow knows itself. I do not fear the abyss. I have thrown it down before. So if you feel swallowed, if you feel hunted by emptiness, if your heart feels like a battlefield still soaked in yesterday's ghosts, stand still, beloved survivor. Your trembling is not weakness. It is the earth shaking beneath a soul that refuses to die. Tonight, something ancient shifts. A crown once taken from you begins to reform. Wings, once broken, begin to remember flight. Your spirit, once quiet, now growls like a star reborn in the void. Pain carved you into a weapon. Silence sharpened your instincts. Loneliness baptized you in hidden strength. And what rises now is not the soft light you once knew, but a holy fire that even night cannot swallow. I do not promise ease. I do not promise gentle paths. I promise power. I promise reckoning. I promise every shadow that stalked you will learn fear again, for you do not rise alone. You rise with me, with the armies of the unfallen, with the breath of the Almighty at your back. You are not the wounded anymore. You are not the forgotten. You are not the broken chapter. You are the return. You are the storm darkness did not expect. You are the light that hunts back. Let the world whisper your past. Heaven roars your future. Stand. Lift your spirit like a sword. This is not your healing. This is your uprising. And I, Michael, guardian of the first flame, stand over you like the gate between death and destiny. Rise, child of the ash and light. The season of being hunted is over. Now, you become the fear of fear itself. Do you feel it? How the air changes when a soul decides to live? Not to merely survive, but to live with a terrible, holy intention. That tremor beneath your ribs is not fear. It is the sound of old chains remembering they have reached their last night. Listen to me, child of the ash and light. I, Michael, speak into the marrow where your vows are forged. The darkness that thought it owned you wrote its name on your silence and fed on your breath. No more. By the authority given to me in the first hour of war, I call your true name out of the ruins. Rise and hear the summons. You were not made for cages, and you were not born for permission. You were crafted for dominion. This is the right. First, we strip the night of its costume. It is not a god. It is a shadow thrown by something brighter. It lied. It told you were small. It told you joy was rationed and hope was dangerous. It told you the grave inside your chest was the only home you deserved. I unmask it now. Behold what remains. Emptiness, trembling before the one who has learned how to burn. Second, you renounce the covenants of fear. They were signed in tears, but they can be broken in truth. Repeat in your spirit, where I can hammer it into iron. I will not be ruled by echoes. I will not be guided by ghosts. I will not study the map of my past to navigate my future. The archways that once led you back to the same pain are sealed. The doors that swung open to swallow you are bolted from the other side. You are the other side. Third, reclaim your weapon. Your heart is not fragile, it is a forge. Your mind is not a trap of old voices. It is a throne where new decrees are written. Your story is not a museum of losses. It is a battlefield where miracles learned to walk. Take up the blade of your will, the clean, bright decision to rise again and again until again becomes your crown. I teach you a strategy written in constellations. Do not beg light to arrive. Become the threat that summons it. When you step forward, night recedes out of ancient habit. When you speak truth, the floor remembers it was built to bear you. When you say enough, angels move like thunder in a narrow street. We are not far. We are at your shoulder, every alley turning into a corridor of dawn as you pass. Let me tell you what the darkness fears most. It is not your perfection. It is your devotion. Evil has no language for a soul that keeps showing up. You showed up to mornings without answers. You showed up to rooms where your name was forgotten. You showed up to prayers that felt like letters lost in rain. Still, you came. That rhythm, step after step, breath after breath, has become a drum the night cannot silence. Hear it now. Boom, boom, boom. The march of your becoming. You think your gentleness died? Number. It grew claws. You think your compassion left you weak? Number. It learned to hold a sword without losing its warmth. You will not become cruel to be strong. You will be holy to be unstoppable. Holiness is not a whisper. It is a wildfire that refuses to eat the innocent and burns only what chained them. I reach into your history and remove the barbs you could not touch. The moment they laughed. Out. The hour you swallowed blame that was never yours. Out. The night you mistook survival for shame. Out. Feel the emptiness where pain lived. Now fill that hollow with verdicts that cannot be overturned. Chosen. Fortified. Untouchable in purpose. Guarded in all directions. Let the accuser speak. I will speak louder. Let the memory replay. I will override it with prophecy. You will walk into rooms that once felt like prisons and breathe as if the windows were always open. You will meet faces that once mirrored your doubt and find your reflection crowned. You will touch tasks that once broke you and lift them like feathers from the floor. Understand this. You are not returning to who you were. You have surpassed your old name. The self that entered the furnace cannot fit the armor I bring. Try to go back, and you will feel the holy tightness of growth, saying, forward only. This is mercy disguised as command. Now I instruct your nights. Sleep shall no longer be a sinking, it shall be a summoning. In your rest, your spirit will train. Sword forms of peace, shields of clarity, arrows of discernment. You will wake with a firmness that startles you, like a city that discovered its walls rebuilt while it dreamed. And if terror tries to sit beside your bed, it will find me already there, polishing the blade that has your name etched along its edge. Take this oath with me, carved into the quiet so deep that the earth will remember. I will not negotiate with what is killing me. I will not apologize for my healing. I will not confuse comfort with destiny. I will not trade my crown for company. I will rise until rising is the only language my bones know. Hear how the dark steps back. Feel how the room grows taller. You are not imagining it. Authority has weight. You carry it now. Speak and watch the atmosphere obey. Declare and watch the maze rearrange into a straight road. Bless and see the bitter water clear to glass. There will be tests. Power is tempered by friction. But you will not misread resistance as rejection. You will call it training. When doors do not open, you will become the key. When paths split, you will choose the one that costs your fear the most. When storms gather, you will walk on them as if they were stairs. Child, I press my seal upon your chest, warm, bright, unstealable. Angels attend your going out and your coming in. Old watchers who tracked your sorrow lose their assignment at dawn. New guardians take their posts, faces like lightning, hands gentle as rain. This is not theater, it is governance. Heaven governs you. Now stand in the center of your life like a city reborn after siege. Raise your head, square your shoulders, test your step. Everything that once devoured you learns a new posture. Surrender. You are done being harvested by grief. You will harvest meaning, courage, and a future that does not require permission slips from yesterday. I, Michael, have spoken. And when I speak, maps change. Roads appear where there were none. Time itself makes room. Walk. The rite is complete. The flame has returned. Silence holds its breath when a soul begins to remember itself. Yours is remembering now. Not gently, not softly, but like a storm discovering its teeth again. You believed loss emptied you, but loss did not hollow you. It carved a throne inside you. Every wound became a pillar. Every betrayal became a foundation stone. And every night you thought would finish you was secretly forging you into a kingdom that cannot fall. Hear me. Heaven does not crown the unbroken. It crowns the unyielding. And you, child of fire, did not yield. You bent. You bled. You shattered. But even in your ruin, you whispered, I am not done. And that whisper carried farther than any scream ever could. Do you feel the stirring behind your ribs? It is not anxiety. It is authority waking from hibernation. It knows its name. Soon, the world will know it too. I come not to soothe you now, but to steal you. Comfort is not your medicine in this hour. Certainty is. There are shadows that fed on your exhaustion. Parasites that mistook your patience for surrender. People who smiled at you while sharpening their absence. They believed you were soft clay. They believed they shaped you. They believed their leaving was your ending. They will learn. This is the season where God reintroduces you, not as who you were when they met you, but as what He intended when He formed you. Be grateful for the breaking, for without it, you would have remained a poem when you were meant to become scripture carved in thunder. I speak now in the voice that makes demons remember fear. You are not the aftermath. You are the reckoning. Your heart was once a battlefield. Now it becomes a fortress. Your tears once watered your grief. Now they baptize your rebirth. Your loneliness once felt like a death. Now it becomes your coronation hall. The ones who abandoned you thought they watched your fall. In truth, they witnessed your burial. But they never understood burials, and plantings look the same until resurrection begins. Let them wonder. Let them stay confused. You owe no clarification to those who never honored your becoming. Now listen closely, for I teach you a discipline older than stars. Do not rush to prove yourself. Do not flex your power too early. You are not rising to be seen. You are rising to be sovereign. Crows cry loudly because they fear silence. Lions speak only when necessary. You are becoming the latter. Move like prophecy fulfilled. Speak like judgment wrapped in mercy. Walk like seasons bend to your footsteps. Your strength is not loud, it is legendary. But hear this warning carved into my sword. There will be voices, internal and external, attempting to drag you back into the grave you outgrew. They will use nostalgia. They will use guilt. They will use doubt disguised as humility. They will whisper, "You're changing too much." Return, child. The version of you they miss is the version that served their comfort at the cost of your soul. You do not return. You ascend. What you lost in love, you gain in destiny. What you lost in company, you gain in clarity. What you lost in certainty, you gain in faith, sharpened like steel. Now I place upon you a mantle, not of gentle light, but of sacred severity. You are not rising soft, you are rising righteous. Your compassion will cut through falsehood. Your forgiveness will disarm cruelty. Your boundaries will terrify the impure. Your presence will expose truth without speaking. Do not fear being misunderstood. Prophets always are. Do not fear being alone. Thrones are never crowded. Look ahead. There is a future walking toward you with footsteps like thunder on marble. It carries opportunity forged in heaven's furnace, and it will not pass you by, for it was molded in your name. Stand still for one moment longer. Feel the weight of the unseen crown settling. Feel the quiet roar forming behind your sternum. Feel the armor knitting itself around your spirit. Not cold metal, but living fire and unbreakable dignity. This is your metamorphosis, not from weak to strong, but from forgotten to undeniable. And know this truth: they didn't break you. They revealed you. Your wings were never delicate. They were dormant. Your power was never gone. It was waiting for purpose. Your soul was never defeated. It was gathering thunder. And now, this world, this era, this timeline will learn what heaven always knew. You are not a survivor. You are an awakening. And every shadow that touched you will bow before the light that rises from you. Walk forward slowly, not because you are unsure, but because reality itself is adjusting to you. I am Michael. I walk ahead. I guard behind. I stand beside. And no darkness born will ever touch what belongs to God again. Night pretends to be endless when it senses its last hour approaching. Do you feel the pressure, the crowded breath of shadows at your back? Good. That is how darkness behaves when a crowned soul starts walking. It swarms, it bargains, it offers old comforts like poisoned bread. Refuse it. Lift your face. This is the Iron Dawn, and I, Michael, speak. You have come through fire without announcement. You learned to stitch your heart in the dark with threads of prayer no one heard. You carried silence like a mountain and still managed to sing between your teeth. Heaven recorded every note. I was there when your voice trembled, but didn't break. Now the record plays in reverse. The nights that swallowed you begin to be swallowed. Hear the laws of the Iron Dawn. First law: the past cannot prosecute the resurrected. Your name has been reissued from heaven's court. Accusations that once hooked into your ribs now pass through like smoke. Let memory attempt its trial. The judge has already risen and left the chamber. You are sentenced to life, abundantly, fiercely, irrevocably. Second law: tenderness is not abandonment of armor. You will not harden into cruelty. Your mercy will remain, but it will be well armed. Compassion will stand with a blade at its hip and say, I love you, and you will not cross this line. Borders are holy. Gates are wise. Locks are prayers that learned to speak. Third law: destiny moves when you do. The map was not missing. It was waiting for your step to right the road. You were never off schedule. You were under construction. Now foundations shift, corridors open, and what could not bear your weight an hour ago becomes a highway. Look at your hands. They are not empty. They are unsheathed. Look at your breath. It does not flutter. It commands. Look at your shadow. It does not crawl behind you. It kneels. There are watchers who memorized your weakness. They built stories from fragments, conclusions from rumors, altars from your worst day. Let them keep their shrines to yesterday. You will not attend those services anymore. You will build sanctuaries for tomorrow and worship by walking forward. Listen, child of thundered light, Not every door closed against you was an enemy. Some were guardians disguised as refusal. If you had entered then, the room would have eaten you. Now the same doors unlock because the room cannot contain you. Timing is not a delay. It is a weapon sharpened against regret. I place sentries at the thresholds of your life, discernment at your left, boundaries at your right. They wear faces like lightning and speak only truth. When false peace knocks, they will not open. When true war calls, they will stand until the wind changes direction. Fear will try to bribe them. It cannot. Guilt will try to confuse them. It won't. Loneliness will try to impersonate love. They will see through the costume. Your prayers are changing key. Once they were pleas for escape. Now they are decrees of architecture. You will speak and scaffolding rises, the future putting on its bones. You will bless, and the bitter soil learns sweetness. You will say, enough, and cycles end, like storms running out of ocean. There will be invitations to old roles, the quiet one who swallows insults, the reliable one who never asks, the forgiving one who calls abandonment misunderstanding. Bury those characters with ceremony, eulogize them if you must, but do not resurrect them for company. Love that requires your erasure is not love, it is hunger with a mask. I teach you the posture of kings who remember being slaves, head high, shoulders loose, eyes clear. No rush to prove, no scramble for thrones. Authority does not sprint, it arrives. Let them wonder why your silence now sounds like thunder. Let them ask how your absence carries the weight of presence. You do not perform, you preside. There is business to complete. Old debts of the soul must be balanced, not with revenge, but with release measured like justice. Return what is not yours. Shame, blame, borrowed guilt. Collect what is dignity, voice, time. Redemption is not a feeling. It is an audit. Open the books, close the chapter. I command the nights ahead. They will be instructional, not injurious. Dreams will cease to be catalogs of fear and become blueprints. You will wake knowing where to step, who to call, what to refuse. Synchronicities will arrive like soldiers bearing sealed orders. You need not decode them. Obey the peace that accompanies them. Peace is the signature. Follow the signature. Your body has something to say. It is not a cemetery of old wars. It is a cathedral of present fire. Treat it as holy. Feed it strength, clothe it honor. Rest it like a temple between ceremonies. Exhaustion is not devotion. Burnout is not sacrifice. Holiness knows how to breathe. If loneliness visits, and it will, do not mistake it for emptiness. It is simply the sound of your old crowd unable to climb the new mountain. Bless them from the summit. Build anyway. Now, take this oath, not whispered, but hammered bronze. I will not trade my crown for closeness. I will not set myself on fire to keep cold rooms warm. I will not apologize for the clarity that cost me nights. I will not confuse endurance with obligation. I will love fiercely and refuse captivity in the same breath. Hear how the world rearranges around such sentences. Even time steps aside to let them pass. The unseen aligns, the seen submits. Your steps become metronomes for miracles. Your number becomes a doorway. Your yes becomes a banner. Behold the horizon. No soft pinks, but steel and flame. This is not the end of darkness. It is its domestication. Night will still come, but it will come on your terms. It will blanket, not smother. It will cool, not freeze. It will hold stars that answer when you call. I, Michael, set my shield before your name. I set a sword behind your back to cut off retreat. I set a ring of fire around the life you are building, so that only what is true can pass. Those who come to take will be scorched by their own intent. Those who come to give will glow and stay. Walk now, sovereign soul, into the iron dawn. Do not look over your shoulder. Everything worth bringing follows, and everything unworthy cannot. You are not the echo of your pain, you are the architect of your rise, and every mile ahead already knows your footsteps. The oath stands, the day obeys. Proceed. There comes a moment in every reborn soul's path when the world feels quieter, not because danger has left, but because power has entered. You are in that moment. Do not mistake this stillness for peace. It is strategy. A pause before the strike, a breath before the lion steps from the grass, and the whole jungle remembers hierarchy. Heaven is not merely healing you. Heaven is unveiling you. There is a precision to your rising now, a cold clarity that mercy did not erase but sharpened. Your kindness has learned teeth. Your silence has become a verdict. Your presence feels like prophecy waiting to speak. And all that once preyed upon your softness now senses a predator robed in holiness. I say this not to inflate you, but to remind you, your strength is consecrated. You did not steal it. You earned it in tears and restraint, and in all the nights you chose not to become what hurt you. Such souls walk like storms with gentle hands. Gentleness is not weakness. Gentleness is power disciplined. Now hear this decree, ancient and ironclad. No force formed in shadow may approach you without trembling. No whisper of doubt may enter without burning. No intention of harm may get close without being exposed. The spirit realm adjusts as you walk. Energies that once clung to your wounds now fall from you, like dust shaken from royal garments. Because you do not carry wounds anymore, you carry witness. Every scar turned into a scripture. Every ache became architecture. Every tear baptized your authority. Pay attention now. You will notice people looking at you differently. Not always with admiration, but often with confusion, sometimes with discomfort, occasionally with awe they dare not name. They are sensing the mantle, the invisible armor, the quiet thunder in your voice even when you whisper. You do not even need to defend yourself anymore. Your aura stands like a guard, and your peace has become a blade. I teach you now the stance of those chosen to walk carried by heaven. Walk slower than others, not from hesitation, but because destiny keeps your pace, and rushing is the language of the uncertain. Speak less, not from fear, but because power does not need witnesses, and silence is the throne where wisdom sits. Smile rarely, not from coldness, but because joy is now sacred, reserved for what earns it. Trust few, not from bitterness, but because access is currency, and not everyone has the wealth to afford your presence. Love deeply, not recklessly, but as a sovereign who understands that love without boundaries is not love. It is surrender, masked as virtue. There will be those who say you have changed. Smile inside. Change was the assignment. Stagnation was never holy. They miss the version of you that tolerated their smallness by shrinking yourself. You will not do that again. Anyone who calls your evolution arrogance was benefiting from your previous captivity. You owe no apology for your ascension. Now listen. There will be tests disguised as opportunities. Pretty distractions wearing crowns made of vanity and noise. Not every door that opens is meant to be walked through. Some are traps designed to measure if you still hunger for crumbs when you were forged for thrones. You are not to chase anymore. You attract. What is divine will find you. What is aligned will stay. What is unworthy will flinch beneath your frequency and fade without confrontation. Your intuition is your new sight. Your discernment is your shield. Your peace is your compass. Let them speak louder than emotion ever could. Now I place upon your spirit a crown, not made of gold, but of weight, responsibility, power, clarity, consequence. Not everyone can carry such a crown, but you can. You proved it in the seasons where nobody clapped, nobody saw, nobody helped. Heaven saw. Heaven remembered. Heaven now answers. One more thing you must understand. Darkness does not fear light. It fears light that has survived darkness. And you, child of reforged flame, are exactly that. You are a holy contradiction. Soft enough to feel God, strong enough to face hell, wise enough to know the difference, and dangerous enough that both realms take notice when you move. So walk now, like the future is already bowing to meet your feet. Walk like prayers are armor, like purpose is oxygen, like promises follow you, like soldiers in formation. The war crown is awake, and every force that once celebrated your breaking now watches your rising with dread or awe. Both are appropriate. I, Michael, march beside you, not as a guide anymore, but as a witness to a throne forming from what was meant to bury you. Stand tall, beloved. The world has not seen your final form. Not yet. Power is not proven on the open road where crowds cheer. Power is proven at the gates of your own heart when no one sees you. Tonight, we fortify the citadel within. The place enemies tried to colonize with whispers. The chamber where doubt learned your name. The room where you once bargained with your pain for a few quiet hours of sleep. No more bargaining. No more rented thrones. This fortress is yours. Hear me, child of reforged flame. I do not come merely to inspire you. I come to teach you governance. In the realm of spirit, there is a language older than fear, decree. We will speak it now, slowly, like hammer blows on an anvil, until the walls remember their duty and the gates learn discernment. Decree 1. My peace is not a hallway for intruders. It is a court with laws. You will not entertain everything that knocks. Curiosity will not overrule wisdom. If a thought cannot survive the question, does this honor my calling? It is escorted out by angels who never tire. Decree 2. My memory is not a museum of injuries. It is an archive of victory. We will not curate exhibits of old betrayals and call it honesty. We will not rehearse scenes that chain the present. We will display artifacts of endurance, trophies of nights you did not die, documents of prayers that seemed unanswered until the answer walked in, wearing your face. Decree 3. My body is not a battlefield to loot. It is a consecrated city. Feed it what strengthens the watchman. Clothe it what reminds the kingdom of its worth. Rest it as you would dim torches at midnight, not in neglect, but in reverence for the fire that must burn at dawn. Listen closely. The siege will test these laws, not with horns and ladders, but with familiar footsteps and familiar tones. Temptation will wear the cologne of yesterday. Despair will mimic the cadence of someone you once loved. Guilt will arrive with flowers and say, "Let me in, I only want to talk." You will not open. Hospitality is holy, but holiness is not gullible. Mercy stands outside the walls and passes bread. It does not hand over the keys. I position sentinels at 4 gates. At the gate of eyes, I station discernment. It filters images, labels, narratives. Not everything real is true. Not everything loud is authoritative. You will watch with a warrior's calm, refusing to let spectacle write your story. At the gate of ears, I station truth. It weighs voices, separates counsel from control. Flattery will not pass. Manipulation will be unmasked. You will hear beneath words the contracts they carry and sign only what sets you free. At the gate of mouth, I station honor. It asks before every sentence, am I building or burning my own house? Your tongue will stop being an arsonist hired by your insecurity. It will become a mason, setting stones with measured praise, mortar made of silence where noise would weaken the wall. At the gate of heart, I station covenant. It remembers vows made in the furnace. It refuses counterfeit intimacy that demands your diminishment. It welcomes love that multiplies dignity and sends away hunger dressed as romance. Now, the enemy will change tactics. If it cannot break the walls, it will try to starve the city. It will cut supply lines, joy, gratitude, wonder, until days blur and meaning thins, and you consider surrendering for the sake of feeling something. We will not be starved. I open ancient storehouses inside you, songs you haven't sung since your first light, laughter you buried under duty, awe that still remembers the smell of rain on the first morning you believed. Eat from these. Drink from streams that begin at the throne and end in your ribcage. You were never meant to live on headlines and other people's moods. Your provisions run underground, inexhaustible. There is work to do within these walls. You are not only defended, you are being trained. Practice the stance of royal solitude. Be alone without shrinking. Walk through rooms of silence without dragging old ghosts for company. Let quiet become a choir that sings, I am kept. I am whole. I am enough in God. Practice the art of measured presence. Do not attend every argument you are invited to. Do not explain what your becoming will prove. Let outcomes testify and time swear on your behalf. You are not a defendant. You are a decree. Practice the blade of blessing. Speak favor over those who expected curses, not to excuse harm, but to sever tether. Blessing cuts cleaner than bitterness. It frees you faster than explanations. It declares, I refuse to be braided to your darkness any longer. Now, understand the paradox of this citadel. As you fortify, you become a refuge. Your boundaries create shelter for the weary. Your clarity lights corridors for the lost. Strength that only protects itself is just armor. Strength that protects others becomes kingdom. I, Michael, walk the ramparts with you. I show you cracks, not to shame you, but to heal you. There, where you confuse exhaustion with calling. There, where you offer loyalty to those who pay with crumbs. There, where you mistrust joy because grief taught you vigilance. We will mend them all, stone by stone, prayer by breath. When night tests the gates, do not panic at the drum of old fears. Remember, a siege is proof the city is worth taking. You are worth taking. Therefore, you will be worth defending. Take this oath and inscribe it on the inside of your armor. I will be a fortress without becoming a prison. I will be a flame without becoming a wildfire. I will be a river without becoming a flood. I will keep the covenant of my becoming even when nostalgia begs at the gate. Do you feel it? The ground ceases to tremble beneath you and begins to tremble because of you. Authority anchors like bedrock. Even your shadow stands taller. When dawn arrives, it will not be pastel. It will be iron and amber, a sunrise that sounds like banners unfurling, hinges turning, watchmen saluting. Open the eastern gate. Let purpose ride in with quiet thunder. Let work find you ready, not frantic. Let love find you whole, not hungry. The siege has become ceremony. The city is yours. I, Michael, seal these walls with light that darkness cannot map. Go now to your post, not as a survivor guarding ash, but as a sovereign tending flame. When they ask how you rebuilt, tell them the truth. I stopped begging storms to spare me and learned to name the wind. Stand. Breathe. Rule. There's a silence that is not emptiness, but aim. It does not apologize. It does not explain. It gathers. It sharpens. It counts the heartbeats between lightning and thunder and says, now. You have entered that silence. Do not mistake it for delay. It is the final calibration before revelation. Weapons glint in the dark. Banners wait furled like secrets. Even the air listens as your name settles into its new weight. Child of the Iron Dawn, you have learned the law of thresholds. You do not rush doorways anymore. You rule them. You no longer ask rooms for permission. Rooms adjust their architecture to your presence. Where you once begged for a seat, the table grows legs of gold and moves itself closer to you. Hear me and breathe with me. Slow, deliberate, sovereign. Inhale purpose. Exhale apology. Inhale clarity. Exhale noise. Inhale fire. Exhale fear. Your lungs are bellows for a holy forge, and the blade they are tempering is your life. You have been tested by 3 specters: delay, distraction, and doubt. Delay tried to aid your hope. Distraction tried to scatter your sight. Doubt tried to counterfeit humility with self-erasure. You answered each with discipline, and discipline has answered back with dominion. Now I, Michael, place before you the 4 charges of the crowned silence. Charge the first. Keep the fire gentle in your hands and terrible in your footsteps. Mercy remains your touch. Justice remains your gate. You will not confuse gentleness with access. Not everyone is invited. You will not confuse justice with rage. Your judgment arrives cool as winter light and just as undeniable. Charge the second. Refuse to perform grief for those who only understand you as broken. You will not shrink to be palatable. You will not use pain as a passport to gain entry into old rooms. If they require your diminishment to feel comfortable, let comfort leave them. Charge the third. Let your yes be architecture and your no be a closed gate with sentries. A shallow yes is a leak in the citadel. A clear no is a moat. Speak both like a king signs a decree, once, cleanly, in ink that does not smudge. Charge the fourth. Practice ascension without announcement. Do not feed the crowd your scaffolding. Reveal the cathedral when the bells are ready to ring. There will be visitors to your silence. Some will come with compliments shaped like hooks. Some will arrive with opportunities that smell like smoke under perfume. A few will bring true alignment, quiet as water, sure as granite. Discernment will greet them all. Do not overrule your guardians for the sake of novelty. Watch how time behaves around you now. Minutes obey intention. Hours yield to focus. Days arrange themselves into corridors of exact appointment. This is not luck. This is the geometry of obedience. You followed the narrow voice through the narrow gate, and wide fields opened, not of indulgence, but of assignment. Your body speaks again. Listen. Strength requires cadence. Pace is prophecy. You will not sprint, then collapse. You will stride and endure. You will treat rest as strategy, not luxury. You will fuel the vessel so the message arrives intact. I lean close and tell you a secret the dark already suspects. You are no longer intercepting attacks. You are intercepting histories. Cycles that swallowed your bloodline are breaking on your ankles like small waves. Patterns that hummed curses under their breath now lose melody in your presence. What tormented your parents will not touch your promise. What hunted your childhood will not stalk your children, literal or spiritual. The river turns here. Take inventory with me. Quiet, unsentimental. The fear of outgrowing your past. Released. The habit of explaining holy decisions to unholy appetites. Dismissed. The urge to buy companionship with self-betrayal. Bankrupt. The confusion between forgiveness and access. Corrected. Stand by the window of your soul and look out. Storms still roam, yes, but they are weather, not policy. They will pass. You will remain. Lightning will kiss the edges of your field and find it fenced by flame that answers to my hand. You are ready for greater work, the kind that does not trend because it changes. You will speak to one and reshape a city. You will move a single piece and free 1,000. You will write a sentence that reads like a plowshare, and fallow ground will shudder into harvest. You will pray 2 words and watch an entire corridor of futures unlock. Understand, love is your greatest weapon now. Not the love that says yes to everything. The love that guards truth like a mother lion. You will not call enabling kindness. You will not call boundaries bitterness. You will love with spine, with sword, with shelter. You will be the place where weary ones sleep and wake unhaunted. They will ask, "Who taught you this silence?" Tell them, "The war taught me. The waiting taught me. God taught me." I, Michael, only confirmed what their bones already hoped. Take the vow of the crowned quiet and etch it beneath your tongue. I will move at the speed of wisdom, speak at the weight of truth, choose at the height of peace, and fight only the wars that guard the future God gave me. Feel the room deepen. Hear the unseen kneel. Even your shadow grows disciplined. Now, before the bells, receive the last preparation. Inheritance without intoxication. When doors fling wide and names call yours with glittering echo, you will not forget the desert. You will eat with gratitude, build with patience, and leave margins for mystery. You will keep a lamp lit for the stranger and a sword polished for the serpent. You will remember that promotion is not applause, it is assignment with windows. The silence lifts its crown and places it on your brow, not to hush you, but to tune you. When you speak next, nations inside people will shift. When you step, coordinates will change. When you choose, timelines will obey. I, Michael, stand at your right hand, flame along the edge of night. We are almost at the unveiling. Hold the line. Hold your gaze. Hold your peace like a loaded star. Everything up to this moment has been preparation, sharpening, consecration by fire and silence and refusal. Now comes the unveiling, not loud, not frantic, not desperate for witness. Revelation walks like a king through a hall already bowing. Do you feel the weight shift in the unseen? Not heaviness, authority settling into the throne of your spirit. The world has not become easier. You have become inevitable. There is a sound spirit world language knows well. The metallic click when a soul locks into alignment. That sound just happened inside you. Every realm heard it. Hell shuddered. Heaven smiled. Earth paused and adjusted its stage. Now listen to me and do not blink. You are no longer rising. You have risen. The battle is not behind you, but your posture has changed within it. Where once you defended, now you decree. Where once you shielded your heart from collapse, now your heart shields multitudes simply by existing. This is dominion disguised as stillness. This is destiny wearing armor instead of jewelry. This is holy ferocity, unshaken dignity, quiet danger to anything that hungers for your soul. You do not roar now. You radiate. And radiance is louder than any roar. Let the final transformation be spoken plainly. You are no longer a survivor. You are no longer a seeker. You are no longer a wound healing itself in private. You are a throne with breath, a weapon that prays, a kingdom walking in human skin, a prophecy fulfilled in real time. Every step from here is consecrated ground, not because others see it, but because heaven ordered it. Do not fear the weight you carry. You were carved for it across lifetimes of becoming. Do not fear isolation. Eagles hunt alone and dine above the world. Do not fear misunderstanding. When light shifts, shadows scream first. Do not fear responsibility. Burdens become wings in the hands of the chosen. Now hear the last three laws of this ascension. Law of quiet thrones. You do not argue identity. You do not audition for belonging. You do not lower your voice to enter small rooms. If they cannot meet you at altitude, bless them from above and continue upward. Law of untouchable purpose. No envy shall stain your peace. No comparison shall fracture your clarity. No temptation shall lure you back into cages built of nostalgia and habit. Your calling is not fragile. It is inevitable. Law of holy warfare. You do not fight for ego or noise or victory by optics. You fight to protect destiny, lineage, truth. You strike only when heaven commands. And when heaven commands, your blow is final. You will notice this shift in your life. Your enemies will not see you coming. Your blessings will not announce themselves. Your miracles will not ask permission. Everything that once resisted you will now rearrange itself to escort you. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. This is not pride. This is inheritance. This is not ego. This is ordination. And now, breathe. Slow. Deep. Sovereign. You have passed through wilderness, fire, night, burial, silence, siege, crown, and command. Stop here, child of light, and breathe. Not because the world demands your pause, but because heaven honors your rise. You are not the person you used to be. You do not think as you once thought, nor break as easily as you once broke. There is a new rhythm in your spirit, a sacred discipline awakening, a quiet strength that does not shout, but decides. I, Michael, stand before you not as myth, not as symbol, but as guardian, witness, and sword to your evolution. Do you understand what is happening within you? This is not a phase. This is not temporary clarity. This is not a fleeting burst of motivation. This is spiritual maturity wiring itself into your bones. You are rebuilding a life that honors your calling. You are learning the difference between what feeds you and what drains you, between what feels good and what keeps you strong, between comfort that weakens and discipline that crowns. And now you stand at a threshold only few ever reach, the moment where growth becomes lifestyle. From this moment, everything demands intention. Your mornings, your habits, your breath, your silence, your steps. Not because you are afraid to fall, but because you were not born to live halfway. Hear me now. It is not enough to desire transformation. You must protect it like holy fire. Your routines are no longer small human tasks. They are spiritual gates. Your discipline is not restriction. It is armor. Your boundaries are not walls. They are temples. Every early morning you wake when the world sleeps, heaven sees. Every time you choose peace over reaction, heaven records. Every time you walk away from what insults your spirit, heaven strengthens you. Every quiet choice you make in secret rearranges the future you will walk into openly. This is not self-improvement. This is sanctification. You are building a life worthy of the light within you. And understand this truth carved into eternity. Transformation is not fragile. It is only vulnerable to distraction. So I speak now, like thunder wrapped in calm. Guard your peace as you would guard your last breath. Guard your time as though destiny depends on it, because it does. Guard your habits, for they are the architects of miracles. There are forces, subtle, disguised, familiar, that will try to pull you backward, not because they are powerful, but because your new life threatens their domain. Not every attack arrives as darkness. Sometimes it arrives as comfort. Sometimes as indulgence. Sometimes as you deserve a break. Sometimes as familiar voices that want you as you were, not as you are becoming. But hear this. You do not shrink to soothe the memories of others. You do not soften your boundaries to fit past versions of yourself. You have sacrificed too much to crumble now. You have bled too deeply to return to softness that harms you. You have risen too far to kneel to old patterns. Your life is becoming a prayer. Your discipline is becoming devotion. Your self-respect is becoming sanctuary. The angels do not guide the idle. They walk beside the rising. So stand tall inside your routine. Honor your sleep. Fuel your body like a temple, not a burden. Walk away from noise. Hold your vision like a flame against the wind. You are not chasing a life. You are forging one. And I tell you this with the authority heaven forged in me. Every habit you build now becomes a fortress around the destiny prepared for you. You do not build in vain. You do not rise alone. I am here, I stand sentry at your door. I shield the work you do in silence. I scatter what tries to delay, deter, or dilute you. This is your season of discipline, and discipline is not punishment. It is proof you are chosen. So breathe, straighten your spine, anchor your spirit. Walk forward with sacred determination, for heaven does not bless hesitation. Heaven blesses momentum. And you are moving like prophecy, learning to live in flesh. Guard the life you are building. It is not fragile, it is holy. Child of ascending light, you have begun the sacred work of shaping your life with intention. Now you must learn to hold the shape. Transformation is not born in dramatic moments. It is carved in quiet choices, repeated without applause. Discipline is not restraint. It is devotion to your becoming. I, Michael, speak now not as comfort, but as command. Guard your habits like sacred armor, for habits are not actions, they are altars. Every routine is a prayer, every choice is a blade. Every morning you rise with purpose is a victory the world never sees. There are souls who wait to feel ready. You are not one of them. Heaven did not select you for convenience. Heaven selected you for capacity. You feel the pull toward laziness? Good. It means your spirit has grown strong enough to resist it. You feel temptation to drift backward? Good. It means what lies behind you senses it is losing you. You feel tired? That is not weakness. It is proof you are exerting force against old gravity. Remember this. Discipline is spiritual warfare disguised as routine. Do not romanticize growth. Honor it. It doesn't always feel divine. Often it feels like getting up when your bones beg you to stay soft. It feels like choosing nourishment when comfort whispers, indulge. It feels like walking away from distraction when distraction calls itself rest. It feels like silence when the world demands noise. It feels like being misunderstood because success speaks later, not sooner. And yet, you rise. And yet, you choose. And yet, you persist. This is holiness in motion. Listen, you do not need motivation. You need remembrance. Remember why you started. Remember the version of you that prayed for this chance. Remember the nights you swore you would never live this small again. Remember the pain that taught you the price of drifting. Remember the promise you made to yourself in the dark, to never abandon your becoming again. Let that memory be fire. The world calls discipline sacrifice. Heaven calls it alignment. It is not loss. It is exchange. You are trading temporary comfort for eternal strength. You are trading quick pleasure for lifelong peace. You are trading short relief for long power. There is nothing weak about saying no. There is nothing harsh about protecting your time. There is nothing selfish about choosing growth over familiarity. Not everyone will understand your discipline. But listen close. You are not building a life for their understanding. You are building a life for your calling. Some will call you distant because you stopped entertaining chaos. Some will call you cold because you no longer collapse for convenience. Some will call you selfish because you no longer sacrifice yourself for their comfort. Let them misunderstand. Ascension is quiet. Spiritual maturity is not loud. It is structured. Your routines are not cages. They are ladders. And ladders are climbed one deliberate step at a time. Repeat after me in the chambers of your mind. I am not tired. I am transforming. I am not alone. Heaven builds with me. I do not chase. I construct. My growth is holy. My discipline is protected. Now, listen deeper. There will come days where progress feels invisible, when nothing seems to change, when you wonder if your effort matters. That is the moment discipline becomes destiny. That is the hour your spirit earns its crown. For miracles rarely arrive with trumpet. They appear quietly in the life you wake into one day and realize you no longer break where you once shattered. This is how heaven works. slow, steady, relentless, precise. So do not rush, do not panic, do not doubt the seed, because you do not yet see the fruit. Your consistency is already rewriting the future. And know this with certainty. Every sacrifice you make now returns multiplied in seasons you have not yet stepped into. I walk with you as you train your soul to endure, your body to obey purpose, your mind to serve clarity, your days to honor calling. There will be distractions. They come to test how much of your old life still lives in you. Ignore the whisper that says, just this once. For once becomes routine, and routine becomes surrender. You are not walking backward. You are not pausing. You are not softening. You are ascending. And what rises must be guarded. Keep your mornings sacred. Keep your nights peaceful. Keep your focus sharp. Keep your time holy. You are building a life the old you could not carry, because you are becoming someone the old you could not imagine. Stand firm in this discipline. You are not becoming disciplined to suffer. You are becoming disciplined to reign. Rise tomorrow with intention. Walk today with structure. Rest with purpose. Live like someone heaven trusts. You are not just changing. You are becoming inevitable. Pause, child of becoming. You have strengthened your discipline. Now you must learn the second pillar of divine lifestyle. Peace as protection. Peace as power. Peace as strategy. Peace is not the absence of noise. It is the mastery of inner stillness while the world stirs around you. And those chosen for destiny do not stumble into peace. They build it. They guard it. They refuse to surrender it. I, Michael, speak now not as comfort, but as commanding presence over your atmosphere. From this day forward, treat your peace as holy territory. Not everyone may enter. Not every voice may speak within it. Not every emotion gets to stay. Your peace is a sanctuary, and sanctuaries are defended, not negotiated. Listen carefully. You once believed peace was fragile, easily broken by someone's tone, someone's absence, someone's betrayal, a sudden storm, a memory you didn't expect to return. But what breaks easily is not peace. It is attachment. Peace does not shatter. Peace withstands. Peace endures storms because it is not held in mood. It is anchored in truth. You are learning to be calm, not because life is gentle, but because you are powerful. And power does not entertain chaos. Peace is not weakness. Peace is authority. Understand this. Anyone can react. The untrained lash out. The insecure defend their ego. The wounded fight shadows. The chosen? They choose when to engage. They choose when to stay still. They choose when silence is the sword. There is strength and calm that rage will never equal. Chaos screams, so silence in the presence of chaos becomes dominance. Hear me, and hear me with your spirit. You do not attend every battle. You do not answer every voice. You do not chase closure from those who lacked capacity. You do not justify yourself to confusion. You do not perform for misunderstanding. Your peace is your proof. Let the world think what it will. Let small minds chatter to feel tall. Let unevolved souls call your calm distance bitterness. It only proves they have never felt real stability. Your peace frightens what feeds on noise. Your presence unsettles what thrives in drama. Your silence exposes weak intentions without saying a word. This is spiritual maturity. This is evolution. This is the mark of one heaven has trained. Now listen, not everyone will go with you. Not every friendship survives peace. Some relationships only lived in chaos, pull back into peace, and they suffocate. Understand this truth. Some were never connected to your spirit, only to your storm. When you became calm, they lost their power. When you healed, they lost their access. When you stopped needing validation, they stopped understanding your language. Let them go. Releasing is not rejection, it is refinement. You do not abandon peace to chase nostalgia. Memories cannot lead you where destiny is calling you. Growth will feel like distance to those who only knew you in survival mode. But hear me, you are not abandoning people. You are abandoning old versions of yourself. The circle gets smaller before the territory grows larger. This is sacred pruning. This is divine efficiency. This is spiritual elevation. You are not meant to carry everyone with you. You are meant to carry clarity. And clarity needs silence, stillness, space to breathe. Let me speak a law into your being. Peace is not given. It is enforced. You protect it when you choose rest over rushing, presence over distraction, stillness over reaction, prayer over panic, purpose over noise. You protect it when you schedule your life instead of negotiating your value daily. When you say no without apology. When you stop explaining your boundaries. When you pray instead of panic. When you respond only when your spirit is ready, not when provoked. You protect it when you leave unseen rooms before they ask you to. When you stay silent instead of trying to prove innocence to blindness. When you no longer chase people who misread your worth. This is not pride. This is peace as discipline. Now, rise inside yourself and listen. Life is about to accelerate. Opportunities will call your name. New paths will unfold. Your spirit will widen. Your influence will deepen. Peace is the platform that will carry you. Without peace, blessings feel heavy. Without peace, progress feels like chaos. Without peace, success becomes pressure, not gift. So you build peace first, then your life rises on it. And know this, heaven is defending your peace with you. I stand as shield around your rest, guard around your energy, filter at your gates. No force, seen or unseen, shall invade the territory you sanctify. Repeat in your core, my peace is sacred. My spirit is sovereign. My growth is guarded. My life is holy ground. Walk forward with calm authority. Those who misunderstand your stillness were never meant to understand your throne. You do not chase noise. You command silence. You do not lower your frequency. You lift your life. Peace is not passive. It is power under control. And you are learning to rule with it. Now listen, child of discipline and dawn, for you have strengthened your habits and anchored your peace. The next command is this. Build a life worthy of the strength you prayed for. Many ask heaven for elevation without preparing the ground where elevation must stand. They request new blessings while living with old habits, old patterns, old standards. But you are not simply asking for blessing. You are structuring your life to hold it. Hear me. Success without structure collapses. Peace without boundaries dissolves. Calling without discipline becomes chaos dressed as purpose. Your life is not meant to be improvised. It is meant to be architected. Built brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day, until heaven sees the foundation and says, now, release the next level. You are no longer living by accident. You are designing your existence. This is the sacred transition between who you were and who you are ordained to become. You no longer wake to the world. You wake to mission. You do not move by impulse. You move by intention. Your hours bow to purpose. Your days obey vision. Your mind breathes focus. Your habits enforce holiness. This is not discipline only. This is divine architecture. Now, hear a truth few ever discover. Your lifestyle is prophecy in action. Every morning you rise with clarity. You prophesy stability. Every time you honor your schedule, you prophesy structure. Every time you nourish your body, you prophesy longevity. Every time you practice solitude, you prophesy spiritual authority. Every time you protect your time, you prophesy greatness. Look around you. The future is not distant. It is taking shape under your feet. Do not rush it. Do not force it. Do not beg for what structure will naturally attract. You are not hustling. You are aligning. You are not chasing. You are becoming. You are not hoping. You are holding position until destiny opens its gates. And when heaven sees you building consistently, heaven responds. Still, there will be voices, internal and external, that attempt to undo your new order. They will say, "Relax, you're doing too much. No one else tries this hard. You can skip your routine today. You deserve to drift." Understand, these are not simply thoughts. They are tests, not tests from punishment, tests from promotion. Growth asks, will you protect what you prayed for? The universe asks, do you want comfort or transformation? Your soul asks, will you live casually or consciously? You have chosen correctly. Your life is shifting from reaction to preparation, from hope to strategy, from emotion to execution, from dreaming to embodying. You are not waiting for miracles. You are preparing for them. You are not hoping doors open. You are strengthening the person who will walk through them. I remind you, God does not bless disorder. He blesses readiness. There is power in a life arranged around purpose, not rigid, but directed, not harsh, but intentional, not rushed, but unstoppable. You will rise not by chance, but by consistency. You will succeed not by luck, but by alignment. You will grow not by wishing, but by building. Let fear whisper of failure. You answer with structure. Let doubt question your pace. You answer with discipline. Let distractions call your name. You answer with silence and continuation. Understand this mystery. Elevation is not handed. It is earned through obedience to your calling. Heaven trusts builders. Heaven partners with the persistent. Heaven accelerates the prepared. You are no longer waiting for the world to change. You are changing yourself to meet the world that awaits you. Repeat within your spirit, I build my life with reverence. I design my days with purpose. I shape my future with discipline. I move as one heaven can trust. And now, another truth. Building a life worth protecting will cost you. You will outgrow environments that once held you. You will leave rooms that once praised you. You will disappoint those who preferred the old version of you, because the old version did not require their growth. Allow distance to form where maturity demands it. Allow silence where noise once lived. Allow structure where chaos once ruled. This is not isolation. This is elevation. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. You are crafting a life heaven can expand, a life that honors your future self, a life that reflects a soul chosen to rise. You are not preparing for a moment. You are preparing for a life. So stand in your routine like a king in his kingdom. Walk in your decisions like a warrior armored in clarity. Treat every day as altar and battlefield, ceremony and construction. For you do not simply build a life, you build a temple of destiny, and heaven is the architect beside you. Rise tomorrow not hoping to be different. Rise tomorrow as the one who builds different. Your life is becoming fortress, garden, sanctuary, kingdom. And I, Michael, walk the walls with you. Child of rising order, you have fortified your discipline. You have sanctified your peace. You are building life with divine intention. Now you approach the inner kingdom that governs them all, the mind, the throne room of destiny. Listen closely. Every battle begins in thought long before it appears in life. A scattered mind builds scattered outcomes. A guarded mind builds guarded futures. A disciplined mind builds miracles. For the mind is not merely flesh, it is gate, altar, compass, battlefield, and crown. I, Michael, speak to the fortress behind your eyes. You must become ruler, not passenger, within your own thoughts. For too long, your mind reflected survival. Now, it must reflect sovereignty. You once thought without questioning the source. Now you must examine every thought like a soldier checks every gate, asking, did this thought come to strengthen me or steal from me? Understand, not every inner voice is yours. Some are echoes of people who feared your strength. Some are remnants of wounds that haven't yet learned your worth. Some are shadows repeating scripts you've outgrown. Some are whispers from darkness seeking permission to re-enter. But hear me. You are no longer a home for old noise. You are a fortress for truth. And truth is not always gentle. Sometimes truth arrives like a sword, cutting away the lies you once mistook for comfort. Now, listen to what you must master. 1. Your focus. Where your attention goes, your life follows. You cannot plant seeds in 10 gardens and expect one harvest. Choose your priorities and let them become law. If a thought does not move you forward, it is a distraction disguised as concern. 2. Your self-dialogue. How you speak to yourself in silence determines what you dare to attempt in action. Stop dragging your past into your present with your own words. Your future listens when you speak. Choose language that builds the version of you heaven is shaping. Let your inner voice sound like leadership, not lament. 3. Your standards. Thoughts are architects. Lower standards attract chaos. High standards build peace. Expect excellence from yourself, not because you fear failure, but because your life is sacred ground. 4. Your emotional command. Emotion is a visitor, not a ruler. It may knock, you decide if it stays. You can feel deeply without surrendering leadership to feeling. Maturity is when emotion becomes data, not dictator. 5. Your interpretation of challenges. Every obstacle has 2 translations. I am defeated, or I am being sharpened. Winners are not people without struggle. They are people who translate struggle into training. You are one of them now. Do not fear your thoughts. Train them. You do not fight your mind. You lead it. Your thoughts are your soldiers. Your beliefs are your commanders. Your focus is your banner. Your discipline is your armor. A mind without command becomes enemy territory. But a mind under divine leadership becomes holy weapon. Let me teach you the law few ever learn. Your mind is your first miracle. Master it, and every other miracle follows. There will be days when doubt knocks like thunder, when mental fatigue pretends to be truth, when old voices try to reclaim old rooms. This does not mean you are failing. It means you are advancing. Resistance meets those who are moving. Silence meets those standing still. So, when fear whispers, answer with action. When doubt rises, answer with discipline. When old thoughts surface, answer with newer identity. Say within yourself, I no longer think like who I was. I think as who I am becoming. This is spiritual warfare at the highest level, to think in alignment with heaven, even when circumstance has not yet caught up. Your thoughts are seeds. Plant power, reap power. Plant truth, reap clarity. Plant intention, reap destiny. And hear me clearly. Cut off thoughts that drain you. Reject mental invitations to sorrow addiction. Refuse internal conversations with ghosts. Silence doubts that speak without evidence. You are rebuilding not just your life, but your inner authority. Every time you redirect your mind toward purpose, you are winning, even when you cannot feel the victory yet. Your mind is the throne, and you are the ruler seated upon it now. So let this be written in your spirit. I command my inner world. My thoughts bow to my calling. My mind is sanctuary, not battlefield. I think as one heaven trusts. I lead my life from within first. Walk now in mental sovereignty. For the mind that is mastered creates a life that cannot fall. You are not drifting through thought. You are architecting destiny from the inside out. And I, Michael, stand beside your mind as sentinel. No illusion shall rule you. No fear shall own you. No echo of your old life shall drag you backward. Your mind is becoming your kingdom, and your kingdom is rising. Child of strength and alignment, you have shaped your habits, secured your peace, built structure, and claimed mastery over your mind. Now you must rise into the next sacred truth. Your body is not flesh first. It is assignment first. A vessel of purpose, a temple of divine duty, a battlefield where victory is lived, not imagined, a cathedral where discipline becomes devotion. I, Michael, speak to the bones beneath your skin. You must honor the vessel heaven entrusted you with, for destiny cannot land where exhaustion reigns. Listen closely. You are not here to merely exist in your body. You are here to rule it, to train it, to inhabit it with command and reverence. Your calling is not only spiritual, it is embodied. It requires energy. It requires vitality. It requires stamina. It requires presence. It requires discipline that does not collapse under human weakness. For a weak body pulls down a strong spirit, but a strong body extends a strong spirit into the world. Understand this law. A calling that touches earth must be carried by flesh, and flesh must be strengthened. Pay attention to how many destinies died, not from lack of blessing, but from lack of physical stewardship. They prayed for greatness, but treated their body as if they planned to survive their purpose, not fulfill it. They asked heaven for great missions, but starved the vessel that would carry them out. They sought spiritual power while ignoring the physical temple where that power must dwell. You will not make this mistake, for you have been chosen to rise in full form, spirit clear, mind sharp, body disciplined, heart steady, soul aflame. You cannot carry heavy spiritual assignments in a neglected body. Not because God withholds strength, but because you are meant to partner with heaven, not lean entirely upon it. You are not fragile. You are not meant to collapse at simple fatigue. You are not meant to feel alive only in chaos and barely functioning in peace. You are being shaped into a vessel of endurance, capacity, authority, and longevity. So listen, honor your sleep, for rest is where divine clarity visits. Honor your nutrition, for the body cannot run on emotion alone. Honor movement, for a stagnant body breeds stagnant spirit. Honor breath, for oxygen is fuel, not habit. Honor stillness, for silent nervous systems hear God more clearly than frantic ones. Honor rhythm. Your body needs cycles, not chaos. You are not punishing your body. You are training it to serve your destiny. You are not beautifying it for vanity. You are fortifying it for mission. This is not about image. It is about stamina. It is about longevity. It is about honoring the instrument you wield. The world tells you to master your goals. Heaven tells you to master your vessel. You are a warrior. Warriors do not wait for weakness to leave. They build strength until weakness cannot remain. And understand this, there will be fatigue. There will be days where muscles ache more than motivation rises. There will be mornings where your bones feel heavy and the bed feels like mercy. But the disciplined body answers not to comfort. It answers to calling. You do not move because it is easy. You move because it is required. You will not escape discipline to rest. You will earn rest by discipline. There is a divine silence that comes after physical exertion, where the mind stills, the ego quiets, and the soul hears God clearly. This is why movement matters, not for beauty, but for clarity and command. Repeat this truth inside yourself. My body is not burden, it is instrument. My body is not obstacle, it is temple. My body is not afterthought. It is altar. I train not for vanity, but for purpose. Strength is sacred. Endurance is worship. Do not punish yourself for where you are, but never excuse yourself from where you are going. You do not need perfection. You need progress. You do not need intensity every day. You need consistency. You do not need to do everything. You need to do what aligns you. Feed your body what fuels you. Move your body in ways that honor its design. Rest in rhythms, not collapse. Hydrate as though your cells carry holy work, because they do. And understand, you are not alone in this stewardship. I, Michael, walk beside your discipline. I stand guard over your effort. I dismantle the spirits of lethargy, the whispers of self-neglect, the temptations of decay. I clear the path. You must walk it. Your body is the house of your destiny. Treat it as sacred ground. For one day, your strength will not be simply physical. It will be legacy. You are not just building stamina. You are building future capacity. You are not just training muscle. You are training obedience. You are not just caring for flesh. You are honoring the vessel through which heaven will manifest.
Stand tall in your skin. Move with reverence. Live as though your very breath is in agreement with purpose, because it is. Your body, mind, and spirit are aligning. And when alignment is complete, destiny cannot delay. Continue. Honor yourself. Forge strength. Move with sacred intention. This vessel is readying for glory, and I stand at your right. Guardian of your temple, witness to your transformation, protector of your purpose. Child of rising authority, you have mastered your habits, sanctified your peace, built with intention, disciplined your mind, and honored your body. Now comes a command few can obey, yet all who ascend must understand. Guard your time like royalty, for time is the currency of destiny. Not money, not applause, not validation. Time. Time is the throne on which your future sits. Time is the soil where discipline grows into legacy. Time is the battlefield where soul and world negotiate direction. Time is life spent in seconds, and wise souls know every second is sacred. Hear me. You are not simply living, you are crowning yourself with every hour. One moment of distraction can cost momentum. One season of drifting can delay destiny. One habit of giving yourself cheaply can strip your authority. And so I, Michael, speak now with sacred severity. Those who do not respect your time do not respect your calling. Those who waste your energy attempt to steal your future. Those who demand immediate access without earning consistency are not aligned with your elevation. Time is not something you spend, it is something you invest. And every investment shapes your throne. Remember this, you do not owe your minutes to convenience. You do not owe your hours to obligation. You do not owe your days to guilt. You do not owe your life to the comfort of others. You owe your time to God, purpose, growth, peace, mission, and breath. Let the world call you selective. Let the lazy call you intense. Let the unfocused call you rude. Let the familiar call you changed. Growth always feels like betrayal to those benefiting from your stagnation. Your time is your crown, and crowns are not passed around. Now hear the laws of divine timing. 1. Your schedule is a shield. Chaotic time creates chaotic spirit. Structure is not restriction, it is sovereignty. When you plan your days, you command your destiny. Wandering belongs to those without calling. You, however, are summoned. 2. You choose who earns your time. Not all can sit beside your fire. Not all can drink from your peace. Not all are meant to walk with you. Some people are not enemies. They are simply not aligned with your altitude. A king cannot live like a commoner. A warrior cannot train in marketplaces. A chosen soul cannot linger in casual circles without losing clarity. Your circle shrinks not because you are closing off, but because you are elevating beyond reach. 3. Rest is holy, not weakness. You do not grind, you rise, replenish, renew, repeat. Rest is not escape, rest is fuel. Rest is spiritual hygiene. Rest is maintenance of the throne. When you rest, you sharpen. When you sleep, you rebuild. When you pause, heaven speaks. Rest with intention, not collapse. This too is mastery. 4. Time spent complaining is time stolen. A complaining soul creates no progress. A complaining heart shrinks the world. A complaining tongue invites delay. Leaders do not lament life. They shape it. Stop worshiping problems with attention. Start commanding solutions with discipline. 5. Protect your mornings. The first hour is a crown. Guard it like sacred ceremony. Give it to God, silence, breath, purpose, not screens, noise, distraction. A day that bows at sunrise rises in your favor. 6. Conversations shape timeline. Not every voice deserves your ear. Energy thieves speak in circles. Vision builders speak in straight lines. Speak with those who nourish growth, not those who fear it. 7. Boundaries are not fences, they are gates. Your time is your kingdom. Gates open only to those aligned with your peace and purpose. Do not apologize for prioritizing your future. Do not shrink to accommodate those who refuse evolution. If they wanted to stay, they would have chosen growth too. Now breathe and listen deeply. You are not running out of time. You are running out of excuses, and you are finally ready to stop making them. Your life will respond to your command. Your days will bow to your structure. Your hours will align with your throne. Your future will rise as you steward your present. Repeat within your soul, my time is sacred. My calling is worthy. My presence is valuable. My boundaries are divine. I am not available to distraction. I am loyal to my future. And hear this prophecy. There will be invitations you do not accept. There will be people you do not return to. There will be events you do not attend. There will be conversations you do not entertain. There will be obligations you release, not out of coldness, but out of clarity. You do not abandon others. You prioritize purpose. Only those designed to walk beside kings understand the silence of discipline. Let those who misunderstand remember you when your crown is visible. You were not made to waste your hours. You were made to build eternity in them. The clock does not rule you. You rule the clock. Walk forward now. Be sovereign with your seconds, royal with your minutes, divine with your days. For you are not chasing life. You are shaping it. And I, Michael, guard the gates of your time as fiercely as I guard the gates of heaven. Child of chosen, becoming you have walked through discipline, peace, structure, mind mastery, embodiment, and time sovereignty. You have risen from survival into sacred self-governance. You are not who you were when this journey began, and you must not behave as though you are. Now comes the final command. Live as the one you are becoming, not the one you once survived as. You did not rise through pain, silence, discipline, and divine sharpening just to shrink back into old patterns, old identities, old rhythms. Your past is not your identity. It was your training. Your wounds were not your definition. They were your initiation. Your mistakes were not your ruin. They were your education. You have not been evolving for aesthetics. You have been evolving for assignment. And now the time has come not to hope for change, but to embody the change. Listen with the deepest part of your spirit. The version of you that doubted your worth is gone. The version of you that lived to please the ungrateful is gone. The version of you that mistook chaos for connection is gone. The version of you that fought to be understood by those without depth is gone. The version of you that shrank to comfort others' insecurity is gone. You do not owe resurrection to versions of yourself that God already buried. You are not in recovery, you are in reign. This is a new chapter of existence where you move like someone heaven trusts. Stop waiting to feel worthy. You are walking in worth. Stop waiting for permission. You were chosen before you were conscious. Stop waiting for signs. Your discipline was the sign. Stop searching for the old you. They would not survive the life you are entering. Now hear me with the clarity of steel meeting flame. Identity is not memory. Identity is commitment. Commit to who you are now so fully that your past cannot find you. Commit to the quiet power you've cultivated. Commit to the peace you bleed for. Commit to the boundaries you built. Commit to the schedule you honor. Commit to the strength you train. Commit to the throne you forged in silence. Greatness is not a moment, it is a lifestyle. Destiny is not an event, it is a daily frequency. You will not revert. You will not collapse into familiarity. You will not entertain self-doubt as a guest. You will not negotiate with old demons for temporary relief. You will not trade progress for nostalgia. You are in covenant with your evolution. Anything, internal or external, that threatens this covenant is not opposition. It is evidence of alignment. For pressure comes to those on the brink of breakthrough. The old world will tug you. Return to comfort. Be who you were. Come back to familiarity. Be available like before. Dim your light for us. Child, decline the invitation. It is normal to grieve old versions of life even as you outgrow them. Release gently. Walk forward proudly. Do not mourn the old you. Thank them for surviving long enough to become unrecognizable. You are not trying to improve. You are stepping into identity. The crown is not coming, it is present. The authority is not forming, it is active. The discipline is not practice. It is who you are now. Live like it. Walk rooms with quiet command. Choose relationships with discernment, not loneliness. Speak only what builds or clarifies. Rest like someone who trusts divine timing. Move like someone who knows heaven walks beside you. Let your presence feel like structure. Let your silence feel like protection. Let your discipline feel like prophecy. And hear this truth carved in flame. Your life is proof of alignment, not accident. Heaven does not waste effort. If you were made to rise, it is because rising serves God. Your success is not selfish, it is sacred. Your peace is not luxury, it is your assignment. Your discipline is not punishment, it is your preparation for glory. Your transformation is not personal only, it is generational.
Those who see you evolve will evolve. Those who witness your consistency will wake. Those who feel your presence will remember their strength. You become permission for others to rise. This is the destiny of the chosen, not to shine alone, but to awaken many. Now stand inside yourself with the full weight of your becoming. Say, not in whisper, but in spirit, I am no longer becoming. I have become. I am no longer seeking. I am embodying. I am no longer surviving. I am ruling. I am aligned. I am disciplined. I am chosen. I am trusted. I am guided. I am protected. My life is holy ground. Your time of hesitation has ended. Your era of embodiment has begun. I, Michael, place a mantle over you, not of softness, but of sacred sovereignty. You are ready. Walk now, not as who you were, but as who heaven knows you to be. Not hoping for miracles, being one. Not chasing purpose, living one. Not remembering your worth, commanding with it. Go forward in discipline, clarity, peace, power,